Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the technical outlook for week 49 of 2017. Hey guys, as always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge of the market. See what's going through my head on any given week or day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi traders, good to see you. Let's roll right in with the charts. Let's quickly do a recap here. Actually, pulling up the blog here at TradingFibs.com. You can always catch the technical momentum outlook, which is what we're doing right here, right now, including some additional insights and as well as the recap here from week 48. Let's actually jump into some of the charts on week 48 as price action. There it was. It was all about Friday's price action on that news-related event on General Flynn, which actually, as of the weekend update, ABC News reporting that obviously there was some flaw in that report. So surely sending those markets all the way down to close out some open gaps, not a bad deal. As intraday, always be ready in both directions. For the investor, it's just called keep on holding upside, but trading, you gotta be ready for those whipsaws. And so this is not, to me, as you'll see here in my insight into where we are technically. Look, guys, we're definitely not in a correction as of yet. Whatever the perma bears and what are the wishes, the bubbles, and all that we're talking about right now, a market that loses a lot of momentum like this and these huge drops on Friday and regains almost to the all-time highs is not exactly a market ready for correction. But that's where we ended up for the week. As you can see, for the most part, NQ still holding downside from the highs, but the rest of the indices still opening to the upside and closing above their weekly open. So there was the market for week 48. All right, what was supporting some of this move? Let's take a look at some of the charts. We got the ES still holding upside of the moving averages here above the 10 EMA. And on a weekly, you know the story, has been all this time. We go back over almost 13 months now, and price action is lifting and continuing to hit these MML highs. Now, you know, for some time I have the MML, you could see extended all the way out here to the side. That's the bigger picture. But as the short term comes and price action starts to consolidate and I have to draw these smaller short term MMLs, when I start changing the square width of those from numbers 32, 16, 8, and 4, and they're pretty much holding the same level, that starts to be an indicator in my mind that market might just be slowing down here. So right now, as we roll through Q4, MML low to high, right there on the overbought up here on the longer time frame around here 25.65. But still, does that mean there's still 26.56? I apologize. But is there still more room? Sure, there's more room as we continue to be in trend. But as you saw, as long as price action holding up on that ES right now and holding above that 10 EMA, we have no moving average crossover. You got to give the momentum straight to the upside. There's nothing else I see in that. All right, some other charts supporting. Let's take a look at the SPY. Again, similar picture here. We got a weekly on the right, on the left here, the daily still holding above the 10-period moving average. Yeah, we had a small pullback here to the 50, MML support, and SPY lifts right there. And again, shorter time frame inside the bigger MML. All right, shorter MML inside the longer, so we got a little bit of double resistance here. But weekly, nice breakout, solid body, tail up. That's a trending candle. But again, gotta pay note to the fact that market action is stalling here, right on the MML levels. Doesn't mean that that's the end of the line. It just means it's a stall at this point. All right, other ETFs that I like to look at supporting the moves and sectors. Let's take a start with the VTI, the Total Stock Market Index. Again, similar picture we just saw in the SPY and the weekly, nice breakout. I added a 10-period moving average. No, that was not a 10. I believe that was a 21-period moving average. I just added it there to see where the support was. Very nice move. VTI still holding upside. Again, similar pictures, starting to draw those smaller MML timeframes to see where those, maybe those upper levels. Now, if momentum continues to push up here, I expect that the larger time frame might adjust at that point. But for now, definitely up to 142.19 looking here on the VTI. But again, strong momentum upside. Now, on the other hand, the FFTY and the CAN GX, the IBD 50 MMLs that I watch, IBD 50 ETF on the MMLs. Again, we can see here that we hit, just like we just saw in the previous picture, we have a shorter term MML here, Murray math levels, longer term MML. Again, going back to the straight strategy of T3 moving averages, but you know, right here, I'm not looking at those. I'm not looking at my other charts. All I'm looking at is straight trend, Heiken Ashi bars from MML lows to highs. And right now, that's right, week 48, we saw a little bit of a pullback downside. So there is one starting consideration. Are we having a pullback in this market to maybe correct some of those lower open gaps? Well, this could be an identifier of maybe that a first initial move. As we know, in the NQ, we saw market on that index starting to pull back. So is the NQ going to be the leading index to the downside to go close out some open gaps or lead downside? I'm not sure we're there yet. But the fact FFTY pulls back in week 48 down the MML lows, finds support in a general over trend, 21 period moving average holding upside. Still got more room upside here, but again, got to still pay note to the fact that the FFTY had a pullback. And still, if you recall from last week on the CAN Slim Fund, again, not something that I've been following long term, something actually more short term as I pulled it up. Finding the cause of this sell-off here. Might have been rebalancing portfolio, etc. Still haven't found any information on that. But to lose all that right off the overbought 1641, we're finding support down here at the 14 level. So just note that the fact that it's equal there to the FFTY on the pullback. We'll see what happens in any follow-up information. All right, taking a look at some of the other ETF sectors that I watch. Taking a look at the FDN being the ETF of the FANG and tech stocks. Again, similar picture, just like we saw in the FFTY. The pullback here off the overbought, shorter term, midterm, and the longer term. It's coming all the way out here to the left side, but here we could see finding the overbought, a little bit of pullback to the 50, but still, you got to see that the overall picture is still upside. So anywhere up to this resistance level might be the target we want to watch, or a target zone for that matter. So still very strong, but pullback in week 48 as we saw the NQ lose a little bit of weakness. All right, also in the news, if many of you have been watching as well, Bitcoin. That's right. There's a daily Bitcoin on the Bitcoin US dollar. There was MML support, all moving averages holding upside, and there it is. We cranking it up to 11,000. So a lot of news out there on Bitcoin, but when you throw it on an MML, it doesn't look so bad when you're looking for the lows to the highs. So might want to consider, if you're invested in that, to use the Murray math levels and any other combination of studies that you might use. Last but not least, the dollar. There it is. Boy, it's been messy. Price action again by the MMLs. I love it. Don't need to add anything else. Have found for the long big picture, I just throw up on a daily or a higher time frame. Weekly here, we could see that the pullback up here to 24.71, which resonates with the daily here. And then the pullback to the MMLO. So the question will be, leading forward through the rest of the year, is if we lose the support here at the MMLOs on the short-term daily, are we looking down here to 23.83, even maybe down to 23.44? Well, yet to see. Well, definitely holding downside underneath the 10-period moving average. I want to see what happens to the 50, but we're holding downside from all key moving averages at this point. So something to watch the next couple weeks, as the dollar might be headed for that 23.83. All right, Jedi traders, that is the quick recap for last week. So as we roll ahead, what are some other indicators of the market right now? So just taking a look at the open gaps as I just had up here on the charts. Again, bigger picture. We had some nice increasing volume on the market overall in week 48. Again, a little bit disconcerting to see the NQ fall back off the all-time highs while the rest of the indices gaining a little bit, even the small caps. But that Friday, right downside and right back upside, sure shook out a lot of long turns. But hey, perhaps some talented, well, not necessarily talented, but some wise and traders and investors saw the opportunity to jump in at low prices and bang, right back upside, and we are holding. So open gaps downside 85.75 on the NQ. We got several down below. We got some open gaps here from previous sessions and the ES as well. We took care of a little bit of business in week 48 on the open gaps, but right now current trend obviously still sitting to the upside. All right, one of the other two other charts I want to throw up here as well. One of the things you might want to watch is the industrials versus the transports. You want to see those two ETFs or sectors indexes in sync as kind of an indicator, could be one of many indicators that you can watch to see that the market is rallying back up. Is that the fact that they are in sync? They're the levels upside that we'll be watching. But strip away the MMLs and just look at the candles, and you got straight up trend, solid hike in Ashi bars. A little bit of doji there on the daily. Again, we saw the price action on Friday, but overall for the week it was pretty strong. Given that YM, what a lift for the week on the YM. You can check out my market recap for week 48. I got some of those charts posted there. What a trend on the YM for week 48. All right, last but not least, the advancers and decliners for the NIAD. Here we see what we want to see is together with the transports, together with the industrials, some of the other charts that I've shown you already on the ETFs, and the fact that the advancer decliners is in sync with the index, the INDU. The Dow is up. Again, small pullback there on Friday. I got to look at the big picture for the week. There's nothing in there that says correction to me yet, so I got to go with the default that we are still in an uptrend. All right, so let's take a look at the charts as we see them every day. Let's start with the RTY here. Price action on the daily here. Little concern, 15.46.9. A little bit of resistance. I could put up a smaller short term, but right now we are definitely at the highs here. We'll have to see, obviously, what happens in week 49. If we're to throw up another short-term MML, change the time frame a little bit, we might get some upper levels. But right now, a little concerned that this might be the high for now. But general overall trend, a little bit choppy again here. If we go back to the daily gaps, the YM and the ES were the strongest. Again, the RTY did get a nice lift, but a little bit of resistance up here as it did pull back. So on the Russell, a little bit of chop here in the last weeks of November and pull back there on Friday, but it held on the 50 on a 100-tick range chart and back upside above the 10. So right now, overall momentum is still strong to the upside, but a little concern here watching 15.46.9 as the tops. If for any reason we continue to climb higher, we'll go ahead and update that through the week, take a look at what our upper levels will be. But for now, this is hold resistance. So the first thing I'll look for on the daily is maybe down here to 1,500, former resistance low. And then any deeper will be 1437.5 on the daily as well as the weekly down here. Same levels on both charts. All right, take a look at the NQ again. NQ with the deep pullback. Again, a little concern here. The fact that price action did bounce back up, hit that 10, and back downside. I'd want to see that breakthrough. So where's the breakthrough going to be? Well, if the breakthrough gets back up above the 10, then I'll be looking here up to 64.84. Now, this is exactly the drawing that I'd like to look forward to in the week to come on the Russell. If we can break above, this reversal up here or the high level on the MML. So right now, we can see price action on NQ did pull back to the resistance high, as well as the midpoint here, major support resistance on the shorter time frame. All right, so daily, we are seeing support here. Anything lower, I'll be looking down to 62.50, down to 61.91.50. anything deeper, we'll start be looking down to the weekly levels as well. But right now, watch for the price action in between the 10 and the 50. Either we push up above the 10 or we lose it below the 50. We start to look for levels downside, which have quite a ways. 5,900 would put us in the 200 SMA department, and that would put us just around the major support on the weekly. So again, those two kind of lining up with each other. So again, another week to watch. But again, the momentum, like I said, has been to the upside. I got to stick with that. Why am I said week 38 was a incredible week. Price action lifts above, holding all in the green. So momentum upside, there it is. We're watching 375 up to 688 on a daily. But again, 375 on the weekly. So we are kind of at a either consolidation point in the market before we lift higher, or hey, markets can always turn, and we'll start looking for lower levels. ES again, picture in coordination with the other charts that we're seeing. There was that pullback there, just like what we saw on the not only the NQ but the RTY there on the small caps, as ES does pull back, finds a little support in the range here. Again, drawing those shorter term MMLs now to find where the support and resistance is, and they're getting smaller. So a little bit consolidation here on a daily here towards the end of the week, but bigger uptrend, still upside, solid body tail up. But there we are, we're hitting those upper resistance levels, 26.50, 6.25. If you recall, we were talking about these levels back in August and back in May as we consolidated here back in March. So it's not a new number, it's been around for a while. All right, let's wrap it up with the last two, the crude and the gold. Take a look at crude. Amazing run on the crude. OPEC still going to support that cut, I think, through the rest of 2017, which isn't much further. And we'll keep our eyes updated on that. But overall trend still holding up. Can't believe we're back up at 58s, 59s. But a little bit of consolidation here on the daily here at the upper MMLs. Maybe up to 59.18 could be a target for the week. All the way up to, as you can see here on a weekly, 59.38 up to 60.94. Appreciate the long-term pick here, back from 43.75 back in June, with a level up here around 56 to 60. So appreciate the longer-term MMLs to give you the bigger picture. All right, last but not least, the gold here. Price action still, as we've said for a couple weeks now. Obviously, Bitcoin getting a lot of the news here, a lot of chop sideways. Can't really make a call. I did say last week, I believe, downside 1265.6, 1250 is the zone to look downside, as perhaps momentum running from the MML high to the low, or at least the midpoint. But as soon as we get something going on the gold here, and then bang, pullback. There was the price action on Friday. So news-related event. I can't really give credence to the fact that price action was going to go back upside. So finding the support off the 200, got to give that the note, as the 10 is still holding above the 50 and the 200. So bigger picture, yes, gold is uptrend, but I would say we got a picture of consolidation here. All right, so wrapping this up, what's the big picture here? Daily gaps, we have them. Friday's deep sell-off, obviously on news event, quickly recovered back upside. Open gaps remaining still downside in the market. VIX levels are now holding around mid-11 for some time. They've been holding, sub 10. So the fact is the average VIX has been pretty good for this market uplift, but just pay attention to the VIX as it now holds above 10, even though the average for quite some times has been quite low. Watch those industrial transports. You want to make sure those are in sync. FANG stocks, a little bit of a pullback this week. Again, note on the NQ, right? NQ, a little bit of pullback. We'll want to see if it breaks out above the 10 or it holds downside. But overall, and the NIAD that we spoke about in the charts, the advancers and decliners, we'll definitely want to watch what happens here in week 49 to see if we continue higher or we get the pullback. So, uptrend momentum still there. IBD outlook confirmed uptrend as we roll into week 49. Economic data, a little bit light here, not too heavy as it was last week, but employment numbers coming out this week. Watch for Friday's employment number data. You want to obviously watch wage growth on the global picture. Australia, GDP, and China CPI. Earnings season still out. Discount chains reporting this week. Toll Brothers, House Builders also reporting this week. Obviously, housing has been on a roll. Contract rollover starting to play out on many trading platforms, including Quad Witchy next week. So we're kind of in that December tough choice or tough bit. We got contract rollover. We got 1 week to FOMC. And we got, obviously, the rest of 2017 to still roll out. So overall in the markets, Jedi traders, I got to give the uptrend technical probability still leveraged more to the upside as key moving averages haven't crossed over. The indices still remaining at all-time highs with the motto of IBD, the higher go higher. The dollar momentum is downside at this point. The VIX still a low average. The transports and the IWT I mentioned still upside, and the NIAD and INDU momentum is still upside as well. Downtrend technical probability, though, got to watch that VIX, got to watch those downside open gaps with more below. The fact that the fundamental ETFs did pull back but did find support, hey, is that going to be an early indicator of downside? We'll have to see what happens. But considering, you guys count up all the indicators that are out there, 50% will say we're at the high bubbles and all that, and this is it. But I stick to the technicals and the simple indicators that I watch. It's a tough case to really see the market recoiling as of yet. I know everybody wants to be the first one to call it out, but hey, you might not get the exact top where it says we're coming down, but we'll know when the market is coming down. So, leading into the rest of the year, we got tax reform that came up. We got Q3 still with pretty much strong positive earnings. I know we have FOMC yet, but right now holiday sales looking really strong. So that is not to me an indicator yet of a market that is that's ready for a serious pullback. But hey, events like Friday can still happen this week just on news bots, and obviously you can see the market must have known that ABC News was up to something because they recoiled right back upside. All right, Jedi traders, always a lot to share, but for now, we will call it a day. And for week 49, as we roll in, again, if I forgot anything, make sure to check it out on my website. Yeah, tradingfibs.com. So, feel free to stop by here, any of my social media outlets throughout the week to obtain more information. My mantra, one simple strategy. Any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day also here on tradingfibs.com, as well as StockTwits, posting some of these awesome charts that we see every day in the live trading room. Hey guys, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch the setups in front of me and on my charts, and I leave my buys at the door when trading. Hey guys, a couple events coming up. The live trading challenge with Infinity Futures has their grand championship. So good luck to those traders coming up. They'll be starting back up in February of 2018. If you're interested in that, just go to livetradingchallenge.com. If you guys are interested in more information about the MMLs, check out my page here on education of MMLs, as well as still working on the ETFs, trying to get a little bit more of a solid, more package there to deliver to you guys on information, but that's the reason I go over these each week. Also, if you're interested in a simple long-term strategy, I find Jason Kelly to be a solid investment strategy. Very simple, and it doesn't take a lot of thinking to do other than 4 times a year. So check that out if you're interested, jasonkelly.com. You can find out a link, by the way, if you go to my week 48 recap, go down to the bottom, and I have a link there for his YouTube channel. All right, if you're interested in joining us, like-minded traders in the room, just go over here to the membership page. You don't have to be a member to join us, and check it out. Like-minded traders, you can join us during the week. Those Thursday, Fridays are flexible. If there's another day you can join us, view the live charts as they happen in the trading day. Just go ahead and email me, David@TradingFibs. So for week 49, I'm David at Trading Fibs. Have yourselves a Blue Zone day, a Blue Zone week, wherever you may be, and have yourselves a good day, a good night, and good trading to you.